And good morning and welcome to Qigong Live Online this morning. Beautiful sunny day. So today we're going to do some exercises about how we rotate our arms actually today. What's the lesson's going to be, but we'll just do some warm-ups first. We'll do the sinew relaxing method today for the warm-ups for 5 minutes or so, just to get ourselves woken up. So those who've never done the sinew relaxing method, you use a different part of your body to relax a different part of your body. So I'm using my elbows, I'm moving my elbows backwards and forwards, and I'm just letting my hands relax. So you use a different part of your body to move a different part of your body. So the part of your body you're moving, there's no tension in it. There you go. That's a brief explanation of trying to explain it. So this is my elbows moving, yep. I can do circles with my elbows. Circles the other way. There you go. Perfect. Then now I'm going to move my hips and let my elbows relax. So then my elbows just go from side to side. And it's a hip movement, not an arm movement. I'm not moving my arms. If I stop moving my hips, the arms just stop by themselves. And if I start the hips moving, then the arms start going. There you go. Perfect. That's the same for the whole duration of the exercises. Good. Going forward and backwards. Good. Do circles. Do circles with my shoulder. And I'm doing my shoulder down. Let the arm relax. And let the elbow relax and circle with my shoulders. Yeah, it came up, the subject came up today, which is what happened. By the way, if you want to just message me to tell you that you're online, then I know who it is. I can say hello to you. Cheers, because I can't see your names. So. And you don't have to, of course, but only if you want to. It's fine. Then I always like to say hello who I'm teaching today. Good. The shoulders the same thing. Then I move my hips. If I stop my hips moving, the arm just stops. If I move my hip and move my hip back and forward, and the arm starts moving. Yeah, like that. That's it. Perfect. And then I get really tricky, do circles with my hips, get my arm moving. So it gets this time of the year here in Bali. It's just before the rain season. The rain season happens November, December, when it starts. And just before, and why it becomes a rain season, it's interesting what actually happens climatically. Because every year this time of the year gets really hot. Because the temperature rises because it's going into the summer, well, the equivalent of summer. And as it gets hotter, of course, then it creates more humidity because it gets hotter and all the more moisture rises and then it starts raining. And then when it cools down, the moisture doesn't rise so much and then it doesn't rain. So it's actually created from the heat. But it happens every year this time of the year. This is not unnormal. This is just this time of the year. It's just really hot. And when the winter season finishes, and then it's still really hot, and then it slowly cools down. But they have this 2 stages where you get this really, really, well, for Bali it's hot anyway. But she's pretty damp at the moment. There's a lot of humidity. So the rain is coming. I quite like the rain here in Bali. It's quite nice. Everything gets really green. But the best thing is it cools it down. The rain cools everything down a bit. Otherwise it'd just be stonking hot. There you go. Good. They go from side to side with our hips. Let your shoulders relax. Good. Forward and backwards. Good. That's better. Feels good. Now do our spine. And you do your spine just flop from one side to the other. And just feel your spot go one side, then flops to the other. Flops one side, flops the other. You won't hurt your back doing this. The ligaments and tendons will stop that. It'll only go so far. You can't do this and hurt yourself. Cool. Forward and backwards. a weird feeling. And you can let your neck go too if you like, and do the same thing. Let your leg go to your back. Cool. Cool. Let that neck go from side to side, along with your spine. Good. And then do circles with your hips and just let your head and your spine relax. And you can just feel the whole thing moving, your spine moving, your neck moving. And it's just rotating around as you move your hips. And it's all relaxed. It's a very, very cool feeling. There we go. Now we go back to our hips. So now we want to do our spine. We've done the spine side to side and forward and backwards. We're going to do the rotation of the spine now. And how you do that, first one you do is you use your hips and you move your hips from side to side. And not only are your shoulders, elbows and wrists relaxed and they're just hanging, now your spine, you think of the spinal muscles, either side of your spinal column, and just think of relaxing those. And your feet, it twists, it twists on the way up and then twists on the way back down again. So you have this rotation going on with your spine. And depending on how tight your muscles are in your back, but the more you do this, of course, the less tension they have. It's just a practice. It's a good thing to get rid of tension. This is a good exercise to do before you go to bed, just to unwind, just to relax. Just go nice and slowly. It takes all the tension out of your spine, out of your neck. Great way to unwind for the day. You wind yourself up to unwind. There you go. Cool. We do the other option. So this is where we don't move our hips and we move our shoulders, and we move our shoulders side to side and just relax the spine again. Now this is different because you're not moving your hips, just moving the top. You get a more defined rotation of your spine. I like this exercise. I can feel all the tension in my lower back, and you can feel it just letting go. Because I'm not using my back to do the exercise, I'm moving my shoulders from side to side to do it. And so the back can relax. Very good. Move your hips. Now to move my hips, I'm moving my knees. I'm doing circles with my knees and my hips are going from side to side. Back the other way. And then move my knees forward and backwards. Let my hips relax. Move my knees side to side. Always cracks me up, this exercise. And you do circles with my knees. Circles one way, and then circles the other way. Now, all you have to do now is just change your focus and take your mind to your hip and make the hips move this time and relax your knees and your ankles. So now the hips are moving. So it's a very different focus and it has a different outcome, right? Move the hips forward and backwards, relax your knees. Hip circles. There you go. Perfect. With your feet, just you move your knee to let your foot relax. And just wiggle your knee, which allows your foot just to flop. Just like the hand we do with the hands. I like the feeling the foot just gets all nice and relaxed. Do circles. Which is also good for the knee joint the other way. Good. The other side. So some of it comes from your hip, some of it comes from your knee, and your legs just hanging down. Circles. And back the other way. Good. There you go. Oh, the whole body feels nice and relaxed again. That's great. Yep, very good. Put your hands on, we'll bow. Roll, put your hands inside your body, roll back on your thumbs. Left hand underneath, right hand on top, 2 thumbs together. Gong, make a fist with your left hand, come with your right. Bring it towards your heart and down to your physical center. Good. So we were talking about articulation the other day in the 200 hours. That's what I was saying. We've got a live 200 hours on at the moment, or the live online version. And we're talking about how you rotate your elbows. Because quite often when we move our hand, we think we just move our hand like that. But if you rotate the arm, see the hand doesn't move, just the elbow's moving. So the whole thing's one piece. And the rotation's coming from your elbow, yeah? Which is a different thing. In Chinese medicine, or especially in martial arts, your fist is seen from your elbow to your fist, right from one end to the other. That's your whole fist. So your forearm is part of your fist. It's not just the fist, is not this little thing at the end. It's the whole thing. It's like a club. Yeah? So when you're punching somebody, you punch somebody when you're going forward, you punch somebody with the whole part of your arm. So there's a lot of weight behind your fist. But there's also a lot of energy inside there. So the energy, the whole fist is just energy. And so we're learning how to do that and to manipulate your arms. And there's a couple of exercises we're going to do today where you just rotate the arms. Yeah, you rotate the arm, not the wrist. And so you get used to doing what that feels like. And that articulation of that is really important. And so we'll do a couple of exercises with that to show you. We'll do a standing one to start off with. We'll go to the tree hugging. Yeah, holding trees. It depends. It's got lots of different names, but that's what it means. The Chinese characters for it. And so we're going to bring your hands up. Bring your hands straight to the front. Bend your knees. Stand on the balls of your feet. The front part of your feet. You're standing on your kidney 1 point. Good. Now bring the arms. Let the arms. Bring the arms up, but not the shoulders. Now when you get to the top, and then roll your elbows down. And as you roll the elbows down, it turns the hands over. Yeah, to bring your hands into this position. Yes, I'll do that again. So we bring our hands up and then we roll the elbows down. We don't turn the hands around like that. We don't do that. We turn the whole elbow down, comes down, and to turn it. And so this turning of the hand is happening because of the rotation of the arm. And you get to feel what that feels like, that rotation. Yeah. And that's important. Cool. So we'll try that again from the bottom. So the hands come up and you rotate the elbows down. And it brings the hands around. And then we stand in this posture, holding the arms. So when we're holding the arm here now, the mind is that the whole arm is one piece. From the elbow to the hand is one piece. It's one piece sitting there. And the same with the other side, it's one piece. So we've got these 2 long fists, if you like to think of it. I don't like whichever way you like to see that. And so your arm is the 2 arms, and they're not separated by an elbow and a wrist and a shoulder. There's not 3 pieces. There's just one piece. The shoulder, well, we're talking about today, we're just talking about the fist part, which is the elbow to the fingers. We're just thinking of one piece. Yeah. But of course, when we're doing this exercise, you think of the shoulder as part of that too. So we have shoulder and then the fist and then the arm and the finger. It's all one piece. So the arms, you're holding up a whole arm. You're not just holding up your hands, and you're not thinking of just holding up your shoulders, that you're holding up the whole thing as one piece. So you can move it, and it all moves as one piece. Yep, very cool. And it's a really, really cool posture. So holding trees is a very, very famous Qigong exercise. And part of this exercise is about understanding of the relaxation, and all the energy moves around your hands, and all the 6 meridians in your hands, and it goes from hand to hand. And it creates a cyclic effect energetically inside the sphere where you're holding the tree. Yeah. That's part of it. It does lots of things, this exercise. Very cool. So we're going to get out of this exercise. We'll go to another one. Now you can stand in this posture for a long time. Of course, the big thing is your arms are going to get tired and your shoulders get tired. So as you do that, just keep thinking of relax, and just keep letting go of the tension, Take your mind into the pain and let the pain just dissipate. Yeah. That's it. Good. Relax. Face that camera. Relax. Good. And then after a while, the arms just stay there, relaxed by themselves. You'll have no pain at all. And so just take your mind into the pain. If you feel discomfort in part of your arms, take your mind into the discomfort. Because you're standing with bent knees, of course, you could get discomfort in your ankles as well, and you could in your calves. Take your mind in the calves and just think of the pain and just relax. Very cool. Cool. When we'll come out of that, and just roll the elbows down, or roll the elbows up, to the palms facing towards the ground, and then slide the elbows back and bring the hands down. Very good. Good. We'll do a couple of the punching ones because it's an easy way to do it. So we'll go to we're going to, which one we're going to use? We're going to 5 elements. We'll use that one first. 5 element exercise for wood, the wood element exercise, has this rotation going on with the hands. Has this thing going on. Yep. And I'll show you the whole exercise. The hands start from the back. The hand comes forward. It starts up, the hands both upside down, the fist upside down, comes forward, and then turns right over, so then the fist is facing the top, like that, so the top of your hand is on the top. And it comes back, as it comes back, the other one comes out. It's like driving a car, and it turns in the middle, and then goes out the other side. Now when you do this, come right to the center, so the hand's directly in front of your center, yeah? So come forward, as the other one comes across, steering wheel halfway across, the hands are sitting beside each other, and then it comes around the outside. Comes forward and comes to the center. Comes back, turns, and then comes forward. Good. So that's the exercise. Now think of the elbow. The elbow, as the hand comes out, the elbow and the arm turns as one piece. That's it. Turns as one piece. Good. Comes out, turns as one piece. Take a breath in and then breathe out. This balances the liver and the gallbladder. This is good for stress, this exercise. Good for stress, good for emotional disturbances. Funny enough, you're punching is good for emotional disturbances. That idea of you should go and punch something when you're angry. Well, the principle is correct, because this is what happens inside this exercise. It vents the energy from the liver. We're just doing it in a way where you're not going to hurt your wrist hitting anything. But the principle is still the same. Take a breath in, breathe out. And just focus on the rotation of the elbow, the rotation of the arm. So the arm, you feel the arm rotating and goes forward, and then it rotates as it comes back. It rotates as it comes back. The other one goes forward and then rotates. The whole forearm turns over as it comes forward. So it comes from there. Whole thing turns over. So feel what that feels like. The hand and the arm doesn't change. It's just rotating at the elbow. Yeah, rotating at the elbow. But the hand from here, what it feels like here, the arm here, feels exactly the same as it does there. There's no movement in the arm. There's just movement in the elbow. Yeah, that feeling. Take a breath in, breathe out. Very good. And the fist is a light fist, so it's just a light fist. You're clenching your hand, but you're not squeezing your fist. The fist is just hollow. But it still has energy in it, so breathe in, breathe out. Good. Breathe in, breathe out. Hand goes forward. Just rotate the elbow. Very good. And bring the hand back. Cool. Bring hands down. So we'll go into the Shiba shear system. We'll use, what is it called? Wind Rustles lotus leaves. They have great names, the Shiba shear. So we're going to start the same thing. So we're going to use the same idea as the hand or the arm being one piece, and you're rotating from the elbow or articulating from your shoulder. So the hand comes up and the whole arm's like that. So the whole arm moves across. Then the whole arm rotates around. So you're turning that from the elbow. and then it pushes across the front, and then it goes down. So the elbow opens, goes across the front. The other one comes up, and then the bends from the elbow comes from the side. You turn the elbow to the front, and then push, so the arm's not changing, just the elbow's moving. The hand goes down, so you let the elbow bend the arm down. The hand doesn't change, just the elbow goes down, goes across the bottom. Hand comes up, elbow bends up. Remember, this exercise is done from your hips. You're moving your hips from side to side. Turn your elbow around and then come back. Perfect. Then open your elbow. Hand goes down. Hand comes up. Rotating from the elbow. Back to the front. Rotate to the front. Hand comes up. Turn. Rotate the elbow. Back to the front. Love this exercise. Open up the elbow. Hand goes down. Other one comes across. Bending up from the elbow. Round to the side. And turn to the front. And so you just turn the elbow around to the front, comes back across the front. Yep. Now the breathing for this exercise, if you haven't done this before, is you breathe in when you come up. Keep breathing in right to when you turn your elbow around. And then as soon as you come forward, then breathing out. Remember, this has been generated from your hips. It's not an arm exercise. It's a hip exercise. The hip's moving and the hip brings the arm up. The hip brings the arm back to the side. The hip's turning influences the turning of the elbow right across the other side. Goes down, the hips come across again. So the hips are going smoothly from side to side, and your hand is just following what's going on with your hips. Perfect. Hand goes down, and all you're doing is bending the elbow up, rotating the elbow to the front, and then bending the elbow down again. That's all that's happening with your hands. And that movement in the elbow is coming from the rotation of your hips. As your hips move, it changes what's happening in your hand. Comes up. Rotation. Hips move. Hip moves. So even though it looks like an arm exercise, most of this is coming from the hips. The hips is generating the movement, and the arms are following what the hips are doing. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And is finished there. Very good. So we'll go into another exercise. We'll stay with the idea. We're using the idea of the rotating elbows. So we'll do another one. We're going to finish with a more complicated one. We won't do that one to start off with. We'll do an easier one. Yep. And we'll stay with the 5 elements. We'll do the first exercise in the 5 elements, which is the metal element. And this is the same thing. So when we do this, we have fingers touch. Your thumbs touch, which is the 2 lung meridians touch, and the 2 large intestine meridians touch with your 2 index fingers. You bring your hand up. As you bring your hand up, see what's happening with the hand. I'm rotating the arms over, so I'm going to do this. So I'm going to come up this way here. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to bend to the side. And I'm going to come down again. So there's very little movement going on the wrist, all happening from the elbows. Bring your hands up. Pushing forward. So you're straightening your elbows. Keep your elbows. Now you're moving your shoulders. And then you bring your hands down. Yeah. So you rotate your elbows up. You straighten your elbows to the front. Remember, don't have them completely straight at the front. Bring them to the side. And then let gravity bring your arms back down again. So if you see the hands, because we're emphasizing this without any rotation of the wrist, the elbow to the hand doesn't change. Both arms, it stays the same the whole time. We're just rotating the elbows. Rotate the elbows up. Straighten the elbows, go forward. Shoulders to the side. And the hands come down. So there's no movement in the forearm and no movement in the wrist. Touch the fingers, roll up, forward, straightening the elbows to the side. Very good. Perfect. I think you're getting the idea of this now. And just see the expression of this, because we can do it with the wrist as well. There's lots of exercise you do with the wrist. I'll show you one of those shortly, where you just use the wrist. But this is not one of them. You're learning how to move the arm, moving the arm by the elbow and not use your wrist. Good. I'll give you the breathing for this. So we breathe in as we come up. This is for the lungs and large intestine, the metal element. Breathing out. Breathing in. And then breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Comes down. You bend your elbows to connect your hands. Bend your elbows up to bring your arms up. Straighten your elbows to bring your hands forward. And just move your shoulders to the side. And then when you use gravity, pull you back down again. Very good. Do a couple more, right? Breathing into the side. Breathing out, coming down. Very good. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And then breathing out. Perfect. There you go. So we'll do one more. Which is a little bit more difficult, and the articulation is slightly different. And it's called Dragon Emerges from the Sea. It's from the Taiji Qigong system. Good. So you bring your hips onto the side. So it's another one with the punching. Now the hand comes forward. You go your right hand first. I'm going to mirror you. Good. So the hand comes forward. So that comes forward. Remember that it's the elbow straightening the elbow. And this time the hand fist only goes so the hole's at the top, where the other exercise, the metal. the wood element turns over. This one doesn't, it stops with a hole in the top. And then we're going to rotate from the elbow, and it goes down to the center and then turns back out on the outside like that. There you go. It's a bit more complicated. So as it comes back, the other one goes out. Fist the hole at the top. Rotate the elbow down. Rotate the elbow back. But the hand and the forearm doesn't change. Yeah, this is a great example. It's like the Popeye arm. You know, Popeye has a big, huge, swollen arm, and he's just like the club, Popeye's club with his hand. It's exactly the same principle as that. Goes down, turns. So it's not the wrist and not turning. So, Breen, good morning. Good to see you in class today. Comes forward. Rotate the elbow back. That's it. So you get the feeling what that feels like. So the only thing's moving is the elbow. Elbow comes down. Elbow turns over. The hand is not changing. The wrist is not changing inside. The wrist stays static. It's almost like the wrist is locked and the arm's moving. Yeah. Come forward. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathing out when you go forward. Breathing in when you move your hand backwards and forwards. And remember, this is coming from your hips as well. Your hips goes back as your hand goes forward. Hip goes back to go down, and the hip goes the other way to bring it back. Let's explain that again. The hip goes back to get it forward. Hip goes back again to go down, and the other hip goes back to bring it over and back again. The hip goes back, back, and then the other hip goes back. Bring it back. Good. And all of it's happening from the elbow, yeah? Turn your elbow down, turn your elbow over. Very good. Rotate down, rotate back. Good. Now remember, the elbow's moving, not your shoulder. So as you come forward, you don't bring your shoulder up to go down and come over. You just bring your elbow goes forward, straightens the elbow bends down, elbow bends over to bring it back. Remember, this coming from the hips though. The hips are moving. The hip moves back to bring the arm over. So the hip and the elbow are related to each other. The energy is coming from the hip movement. I'll just exaggerate that so you can see it. So the hip's moving like that, which is moving the elbow. Yeah, that happens on the inside. So that's what's happening inside. It goes back, hip moves back. So what I want to show you now is one where you just do the wrists, because there's always exceptions to it, because we're doing certain exercises where you're rotating the elbow, and they're designed just for the elbow rotation to teach you how to do that. They're teaching you how to rotate your elbows because it's important to do that. There's ones that teach you how to rotate your shoulders as well. And the other ones, of course, is to do with your wrist. Now, the classic example of the wrist one would be the exercise, which would be a primordial chi exercise from the from heaven to earth Qigong. And that's where you start with your feet together and you have your hands out the front and you rotate the hands around and just the fingers move. And then you turn the hand up this way. Yeah. And so that's actually an exercise. I'll do it with you. So the little fingers, they follow each other. The fingers follow each other all the way around and then they turn up, facing up. But see what's happening with my elbow. The elbow's not moving, it's just the hand. Yeah. So just the hands moving. Yep. So we try that one out. So we do it from the bottom. And so just the hand move, all the fingers, they're rotating the fingers and the wrists and then the wrists come up. Then you turn the wrists over and the hands go down. Now, as you do that, you rise onto the front part of your feet, you turn your hands around and you come up onto your toes, and then you turn and your hands go down. Rotate the fingers around, comes up, and then the hands go down. Good. Rotate the fingers around, comes up, and then it goes down. And you push up right up on your toes. So as we're doing this, we're grasping the energy, brings up, you right on your tiptoes, and then you lower yourself back down and bring your hands down. So this is happening for the wrist exercise. And this is on purpose because you're learning for this particular exercise. What you're doing is you're stretching all the metacarpals in your wrists, not only your fingers, because when you turn your fingers around, it's moving all the metacarpals in your hands, and you're moving all the fingers, and you can feel them, all these bones. You put your hand on them, you can feel them as you do that. You can feel all of the bones inside your hand actually twisting and moving, and you're trying to do that. You're trying to break away any tension in the hand itself, and open up all the energy pathways in your fingers, and you're doing that on purpose, but you're actually just doing the hand. I'm not doing this with my elbow. So there's a good example of how you just do the hand only. And the other one today, we were just using elbows. And so practice those, and you'll know which exercise to do. If you're not sure, you can always ask me. But you'll notice the exercise where the elbow's involved or the wrist is involved. It's a different thing. Yep. Anyway, hopefully that's useful. And to understand, to experience what that feels like, to move, articulate your body when we're doing this exercise. From your elbow opening, to the elbow closing. But the hand doesn't change. The hand stays the same, the arm stays the same. It's just the elbow moving. And it's a very important part of Qigong and a very important part of Taiji. Hopefully that's useful, So have a good day with that. If you have any questions about that, please ask. If there's an exercise you're not sure about. And have a great day. When you have a cup of tea, drink it, bend your elbow, not your wrist. There you go, something you can do by yourself and practice. In the cafe today, you're sitting with a cup like this. People think you're a bit weird doing this because you're practicing. Don't be, it's okay, weird's good. Who wants to be normal, whatever that is? Roll back onto your thumbs. Bring your left hand underneath, right hand on top. Two thumbs together. Gong. Your fist with your left hand. Open your hand, bring it towards your heart, and then bring your hands down. Good. There's a good example of exactly the same thing. When you come up with your hand, you bring it up. You actually make a fist. You make a fist. You don't make a fist. Remember, make a whole arm. Make a fist, and then we open up the fist. We open up the hands, and then bring it towards ourselves. And then the hand goes back to being an arm again, coming back down again. There you go. So it does both of them in the same movement. So step back, bow to each other. Have a beautiful day and have a beautiful week. And for those who are doing the 200 hours, I'll see you again tomorrow. We have early morning practice tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock in the morning here, Bali time. And then if I'm not seeing you tomorrow, I'll see you on the weekend for the other live practices. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.